Okay, it's LE Diecast again, and we're going to continue with our little custom course here. So in the last video, I was cutting out the stencils and basically weeding out the lettering on the stencils, and you can go back and watch that. And I applied the stencils to the cars. Now this is the end result, and I'll show you how they were wrapped. But see that LE Diecast on the back there? That's from the stencil. There's probably a better example here. That one needs some touch up. Here's a better example. So, there we go. Get it there. The white is from a stencil. And had I used a clear water slide on that, it wouldn't really have shown up. Because I can't print in white. There wouldn't be anything there. So I could print any color on a white car. But it's also going over some flames and so forth, so I don't want it to be translucent and show through. Also, the hood decos, that 429 CI, that's in there. And the little periods that are not showing up on one side, I'm going to hand paint those in. So, well, that's great, but how do we get that? So here's what we got. I'm going to go ahead and put the mic down. And I hope it'll still hear me. Here, let me scoot this in again. Let me get the mic up here. And if we do this well, okay. I think it'll pick me up. So here's the car after it's been painted, and it looks like a little burrito. It's pretty well wrapped, and you can't actually see what's been painted. Right here, whoops, right here is the white. And it's pretty much invisible, and the black right now is covered up. I paint them at the same time so I don't have to rewrap them, and all I do is cover the first color with some tape. So I'm going to go ahead and start unwrapping this, and hopefully it won't take too long. You can see there's the black on the front. So what you're looking at there is the black 429 CI is that black mess, and the white mess there on the side is the LE Diecast. So, and if this worked, this is great live YouTube TV here. If it worked, it'll look really cool. And I wrap all these the same, so I can kind of unwrap them the same way, so that I know what I'm unwrapping. So let's unwrap that first one. So it's kind of like a Christmas present here. So what we'll do is unwrap this back little quarter panel piece that should say LE Diecast when we're done here. And the blue that you see there, that's the mask or the stencil, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be a one-time use thing. And so what I'm going to do is, let's get a good shot of this. There we go. Is pull that off, and it should leave behind LE Diecast, except it's upside down. Would have been much more dramatic had we done that right side up. The D right now is a little screwy. You'll see it in there. And here, we'll dig out the D. The D right now has a little piece there. There you go. And you can see the D, the little circle isn't quite centered. We'll just touch that up. The little negative pieces, like in the middle of the D's and the Q's and the O's, they sometimes slip. It's not a big deal. We'll just touch it up with some paint. And there's no way I could paint something that neat. I can't really paint much at all on these cars freehand and have it come out very good. I'm just not that good. But I could touch things up just fine. I used a primer on this actually, and not for any reason other than if I'm using black or white, I usually just use a primer. Here's another one. So big reveal, this time right side up. LE Diecast. There we go. You can see the D slipped on this one too. That happens a lot with these cars. I'd say it happened on about half of them. We'll just dig that out. It's going to be a little bit low. Oh, that's not bad at all. There you go. LE Diecast. Let's focus. Focus. There you go. LE Diecast. Pretty cool, huh? better be. It took forever to mask these things. It's the end of the day, and I have an edition here of about, I think there's about 14 cars, and I got through about half of them today, which is pretty good for me. This is time-consuming stuff, so haven't decided what we're selling these for because I don't know what the total cost is yet on them. But I mean, they will go for a little bit of money just because it takes forever to make these things. So if you're wondering why sometimes those customs cost so much, well, a nice custom is going to take some time. This, by the way, you're seeing different types of tape in there. Might as well talk while I'm unwrapping. That is, I use the, what's the brand here? I can tell you in a second. It is Tamiya masking tape, which is this stuff, this cream colored stuff. It's really great for kind of sealing edges. I use regular old cheap masking tape to kind of fill in the big areas. A couple of other things you gotta do if you want this to work out is you gotta seal your vehicle. You gotta seal the coats before you do that. Here we're gonna reveal that for 29 CI. Bam! For 29 CI. Worked out pretty well. You got to seal them, because if I had torn that masking tape off and that coat of paint underneath it was not sealed with a clear, it would have ripped the paint right off. It would have just destroyed the paint. I've forgotten to do that because, you know, the clear is invisible, and you can tell by the tackiness of the feel. It feels a little rough when it's cleared. But you can't tell by looking at it. It's completely invisible, at least the clear I use. And so I have taped off cars that weren't cleared yet, and it just will destroy the paint. If I was doing this and that paint wasn't cleared underneath it, it'd rip it up. If the light, I'm just noticing it, if the light is picking up a little ridge there, it's not the paint bubbling, it's the adhesive of the vinyl, and for the most part that's gonna go away when I clear this and seal it again. But I also will wipe it down with a little bit of Gooby Gone, and if I just wipe that off, it'll come right off. The clear will protect the paint coat, and the Gooby Gone will get that. I just can't touch the new paint, so the lettering I can't touch with Gooby Gone or I'll smear it. So that's tomorrow's job. That part isn't very fun. So there you go. Pretty good. 429 CI on both sides. This one, the little periods even came out on most of it. That's pretty good. I've got a little weird piece of, what is this, tape or something there. And we got LE diecast on the back end. We got our D's all weeded out. And that is pretty good. So here's the last one. I'm not going to do this on video, but at least it's the last one for today, and I'm halfway done. By the way, these are not done. They're going to get white printed tampos, so there's going to be some racing tampos in here, and there's going to be a 14 on top at least, and my tampos aren't here yet, so I'll have them in a little bit. So that's it for this video, folks. I hope that filled in some of the blanks on how I do things. Sorry these videos aren't clear. I just don't really have a better way of doing it here in my workshop, because I kind of have to lean over the camera in a weird angle to get it right. So probably by the next video we'll have all these guys done, and we'll keep moving on with them. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye bye.